Hi, and welcome to the latest interview with an FMUL Super League winner. And it's unfortunately, for some, fortunately for one person, the same person as last week. Welcome back, Vitasoy.
I'm back. I'm happy. I'm back again.
So, as we discussed at the end of the last interview like this we had, you were in South Korea this time. As I said to you before the stream, I haven't really had a chance to have a proper look at this yet. Do you want to talk us through some of the highlights, lowlights, and interesting things?
Yeah, I guess the highlight is my striker Meritu. He was here when I joined the club. I didn't really need to spend money on a new striker, and this guy,
Wow,
almost a goal a game in the league.
that's not bad.
I don't forget.
And they got him for free as well. I know you didn't get him, but they got him for free.
Yeah, they got him for free. I didn't even need to sign a striker, and the guy right here was insane.
I'm like looking at what he'd done the season before. Like you can't have thought that was going to happen, surely.
No. In the first season, when I got there, seeing him, he just scored every single league game. It was really nuts.
It's amazing. I mean, it's what you want when you join a club, for sure.
Exactly.
Only when you saw his attributes, I'm presuming I don't know the South Korean league particularly well, but I assume these attributes are pretty good for the South Korean league, are they?
Yeah, I think it's just his physicals are just probably ridiculous for the South Korean league. Yeah, he's
certainly very, very quick.
Yeah, it's really quick.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I guess quick strikers is always a bit of a game breaker in FM, isn't it? So yeah, because it's interesting to see. You know, they got him for a season and he was pretty rubbish before you arrived, but you've turned him into a bit of a machine.
I think it's just also the tactic I employed. It almost all the time the striker gets a lot of goals.
Yeah,
if
that makes
he's
sense.
Like somewhat decent.
Well, I mean, I would think with the tactic like this, where you've got two inside forwards, you'd get quite a lot of goals from there as well. I mean, obviously you got quite a few from one of them, the right winger Kim Ju-chan. He got 25, and actually no, you got lots from Kang Jong-jin, the other one as well. So you got 40 odd goals between those two. So yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, they also provide a lot of assists, but also like the wing backs also get really involved because I set it to waiting for the overlap. And it really, in a lot of times, even the fullback gets in on the goal scoring team.
Yeah, you don't often see fullbacks getting above sevens in terms of average ratings, and you've got a couple here with one with 7.39. It's amazing.
Yeah, the average rating for this team was really high.
Yeah,
like a lot of players were above. Like my starting 11 was above 11, basically, above 7.
Yeah, certainly the vast majority of them. Yeah. I'm just trying to think. Could you do a first 11 with only above 7? I think you're attacking midfield, central attacking midfielder, maybe not. But other than that, maybe you could. I'm just trying to put it together now on stream. Hold on. Yeah, you haven't quite got two central defenders, but you have got a whole team of people over 7. Although one of them's a guy who only started 9 games, so I'm not sure if that counts.
I guess not. Yeah.
But no, it's amazing, certainly.
And then in the season 3, so 2026, that's when or 2026, I think, was the champions, or the Asian Champions League. Was it 2020? Yeah, it was in 2026. That's when I first won it. It was against Al Nasser, and what was surprising for me was that the final is two-legged. And also,
it was against Al Hilal, but yes, you're right.
No, that's 2026.
Oh, so you won it in 2020. Okay, so you won it 2 in a row.
Yeah, 2 in a row.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, God, you absolutely smashed them.
No, the first leg we were.
It was a bit mad.
I think at one point we were up like 6-2, 6. Whatever, and then they scored like 3-4.
I think 5. I think it was 5-1 at one point. Yeah, it looks like it was 5-1 at one point.
And then they brought it back. Luckily, we managed to again score another one to make it 6-4. But I think that honestly,
yeah, it must that last 10 minutes before you scored the 6th must have been absolutely horrible.
All of a sudden they just started scoring. I thought game was done after 5-1. But then I don't know what happened.
You would.
And then, luckily, in the second leg, we managed to secure the trophy. And then against Al Hilal, that was in my opinion much easier than Al Nasser, because I don't know, it felt like the game was more controlled compared. compared to the other one.
Well, I mean, you only won it by 1 goal this time, but I mean,
It was
obviously I
less
wasn't live
hectic.
watching the game.
Less hectic.
Yeah, certainly less hectic for sure. I can actually see these games. So because they had some decent players, Ruben Neves, Malcolm, Marcus Leonardo, Mitrovic is playing for them.
Their midfield was insane.
Yeah, it's a decent side.
They were really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt really
SMS.
like the league, everything that like the Korean Cup, whatever it's called. It all felt really easy.
So you liked this league then, did you?
Oh yeah. The only hard part was the first 2 seasons I won everything I could win because I didn't have the Asian Champions League, whatever.
Right.
But even when I won the Asian Champions League, the board and fan support was only a B. I don't know what they want from me.
This is why I'm actually, as we speak, I'm actually working on a way to make board and fan confidence less of an issue because I think it's broken. We're still going to use it, but it will be less important.
Okay, that's good because when I'm winning everything.
Yeah, I agree. It's completely broken. I think we kind of have to use it because it's part of the game. It has to be there. Hopefully, it will fix itself, but it will be less important in future. That's starting with edition 5. But I'm actually working very hard right now to work out how that's going to work. But I think it will work. It will be to do with your finish compared to your wage budget. There's a little preview for you. You're the first person to find out, other than the admins.
Oh yeah.
So it'll all be the kind of points to wage budget ratios will matter.
Gotcha.
So if you spend loads of money and don't win the league, you've got a problem.
Yeah, you do have a problem. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the winger signings were important. The wingers.
Mm-hmm.
I signed Ethan Mbappe on my bench. He's on
wow.
my bench, Ethan Mbappe. I splashed the cash for him, even though he's kind of shit. I didn't really use him. He was not good.
Yeah, he hasn't done great
looking
for
at
you.
his
Sure.
attributes, it's
I mean,
terrible.
I wouldn't say it's terrible. Like average rating of very nearly 7, and he's only 20. He would have been useful in future years. I think. I just wonder maybe bought him like we were a bit too early for him.
I don't know. He didn't feel that great. I just signed him because his name was Mbappe.
Fair enough. So you could say you signed Mbappe in South Korea.
Exactly,
Yeah, fair enough.
Exactly.
I mean, to be fair, I'm quite surprised you could get even Ethan Mbappe, let alone anyone else.
Yeah, no, but I felt like this league was easier because I think like the base quality of the Korean players they're not terrible.
No, you can see they're a bit more variable perhaps than some other leagues, but there are some decent players there.
I think, like, if you compare it to like basically like the base player, I don't think is too far from like the best player in the league. Like,
so let's say someone like you thought that Maritu is probably your best player, or was it Kim Ju Chan?
It was I think one of the wing. I think it might.
Kim Ju Chan.
It might have been Kim Ju Chan or Kang Sung Jin. One of the wing.
Well, let's go for Kim Ju Chan because it looks like certainly in the last season he was the best performer. So let's have him, and then we go for the worst player in your team according to this, who was playing a bit. Let's take this guy Huang. You're right. He's not all that different.
Yeah, it's not like
it is different. Yeah, the Kim Ju Chan is clearly better, but it's not huge. You're right.
Yeah, so if I can the academy, not even academy, but like I could like go out and fill out my like registration quota with Korean players really easily because I don't even need like the best Korean players. I just need like somebody serviceable.
Yeah,
and
no, that's certainly
fine, and especially like obviously like you're comparing with Kim Ju Chan, who's probably one of the best, if not the best player in the Korean league. But if we're comparing like the worst player on my team, he could probably go head to head against one of like.
Well, let's think about it in terms of average rating. So yeah, I think in terms of average rating, it's probably Mbappe in terms of that thing. So let's compare him to someone else. So let's go to Mbappe compared to someone in another team. Let's have a think. Let's even go for the second best team.
Sure.
Compare him to Chu Young Wook. Let's see what that gives us. So this is potentially your worst player, Ethan Mbappe.
Yeah.
Compared to their best potentially. Where's he gone? Mbappe. Why can't I find him? Why can't I find Mbappe? That's strange. Compare with. There's no Mbappe. That's really weird.
Wait, that is really weird. Where'd he go?
Should be here. It's not there. It's very odd. Let's see if we can do it the other way around then. Chu Young Wok. Go back to Ethan Mbappe. Chu Young Wok. Right, we can do it that way. Can't do that because we don't have his attributes. Never mind. It was a nice idea anyway. But yeah, it would be interesting to know in some ways because it's looking at this team, and this is obviously based on iffy information. But you've got people in your team who your assistant doesn't rate all that highly, but are clearly doing quite well. You look at someone like Moon Min Soo. I know he hasn't played a huge amount of games, but your assistant doesn't really rate him.
Yeah,
but he's done really well.
I signed him as a youngster in the second season, but then military services took him away. But
is that so? Kim Cheon is that's weird though because he is actually playing.
Yeah, I think I read somewhere it's for a way where they can.
No, I get that, but I just assume that they just.
But also don't. Also doesn't make them regress because they're still playing.
Right. Okay. So they play. So does that mean then that there's a set number of people who go on military service every year, as in this number, whatever it is, 30 odd?
I don't know if there's a set amount, but I think in 25. The save I had I think almost 5 players going to military service.
Wow. God, it's interesting. The under 18 squad there is called Yongun High School.
Oh yeah, it's interesting.
It's a really interesting way of doing it. I quite like it. I mean, I don't know what presumably this club does exist, does it?
I did not track.
I'm going to have to check now. I'm too interested.
Oh yeah, that's a real club.
It is a real club. Yeah, I'm sure it's a real club. But do they really Let's see what they're really like. Kim Cheon Sang Moo.
It's the sports division of the Republic of Korea Armed Forces.
So yeah, it sounds like it's actually done. Then it's correct.
Oh.
Yeah, compulsory 2-year military service. So actually, we thought it was a workaround. It's not. 15 players join up at the start of every season, spend 2 years with the side. So there's 30 there in total, 15 each year.
Oh, that's really interesting.
That is really, really interesting.
Yeah.
So what happens in the game is actually reflective of real life. I'd always been assuming that it was just like a workaround, but it's not.
No, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
That's honestly what I thought too.
It's really clever. But yeah. So presumably, is this where Park Ji-sung would have gone if he had actually done his military service?
Park Ji-sung.
Because he wasn't there. No, I don't mean Park Ji-sung. I mean the Spurs guy, Hyung Sun Min.
Hyun Sun.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, he would have gone here presumably. I know he was let off in the end, but he would have gone here.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's anyone here I actually know of.
Probably not.
There's so many with very similar names. I can never remember which ones I actually have.
I mean, this is in 2027, so.
Yeah, but there are some real players here. Like this guy's real.
Yeah.
But yeah, I suppose they'd be quite young now, most of them.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, okay. Certainly we've learned something new about South Korea anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
How did you find South Korea as a league? Because we're certainly finding that some leagues are a bit of a pain for various reasons, and we've sort of said that we won't use them again. South Korea is it one that you found interesting, fun?
The first season was probably the most tedious because I think it's just getting used to the rules.
Yeah.
And then so for season 2, I think from the windows I've learned that I can just sign any South Korean player and they'll probably be good enough to play.
Right.
So because there was also you cannot have more than, I think in the cup you can't have more than 2 or 3 foreign players in the lineup, including the subs.
Mm-hmm.
Also on the field you can only have 3 foreign players. So
wow.
As the windows progress, I slowly try to distance myself from signing foreigners and trying to just sign Korean players.
Sure, no, that makes sense.
Yeah,
it makes it too difficult. So you just have 1 or 2 absolute stars in your foreigners, which makes sense. You looking at it now. You got Toru Nariga and Marito. They're both very, very good.
Yeah.
So they're the kind of players you'd want to keep.
Toru Nariga was so good on set pieces. His jumping stats and heading are.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see
Best
that he
in the
would.
league,
Yeah, he
probably.
should be good. Well, yeah, in career, I assume that the average height is pretty
I
low.
mean, he could probably be serviceable in the Prem. Like
Yeah,
his passing
I've had
is
Torreira
13
before.
efficiency.
Yeah, he's a perfectly
Yeah,
good player. He's not like a
yeah, he's
top player, but he's
no.
decent. I think he'd be a
I,
decent squad player for literally anyone in the Premier League.
I signed him solely for his jumping read
Yeah,
and heading, just for set pieces, and
and
then
you can
he
see he's got
scored
12
like
goals.
12.
Yeah,
Exactly,
so
exactly.
that's worked.
And that, yeah. And
I'd love
then
to know how you. I'm gonna have to have a nosy at how you do these set pieces then.
oh yeah.
Right. Oh goodness me, it's complicated in a good way.
No. Basically, I label it as meta because it's just near post, go near post, and it's like, and then you have
Someone attacking it. So this A1 presumably is Torreira, is it?
Exactly, and
Yeah.
then you have a player marking the keeper.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like Arsenal voodoo. Black magic.
Well, Arsenal Voodoo, we'd have more players back here at the back post, and they'd be moving in towards the keeper.
That is true.
We have. I don't think you can replicate the Arsenal one because there's no way to have them kind of come in
No,
and
you can't
interfere.
replicate it
Like
because-
what you want is someone to mark the keeper, but mark them late.
Yeah, no, but you can't replicate it because this one's better.
That may be true. That may be true.
Yeah, and all my saves, I use this.
Yeah, it
set
does look
piece
good.
tactic. It's a bit ratty, but it scores goal. I don't really care. It works. It works.
Well, okay.
And
If it
then
works, it works.
Another workaround I had for the injury bullcrap. You can also say, if you look at my training, like my training schedules, you can see how, like, if you just look at the calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah, low and extra low. Yeah, it's
So you do hardly any.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, it's still so it's basically a regimen of quickness, match practice overall, then match practice, and then basically what it does, it aims to develop players like agility and pace, which are probably like the most important attributes in the game.
Yeah, it does make sense. I've always thought I've always thought match practice seemed to me to be a kind of silly thing to be doing. So does it not just tire them out without really adding much technically?
No, match practice, basically what it does, it focuses on your individual focuses. For example, your additional focuses, I put it on quickness. So basically what match practice does, it works on your individual focuses, also on the roles. So they learn the role quicker, and then also they focus a lot on the additional focus. So I'm already training quickness, and then additionally I'm focusing on quickness again. So their quickness attributes are going to develop even quicker.
Sounds like a really
So
good idea then.
I'm trying to, who have I had for like 4 years? Let's see. I mean, like, for my wingers, you can their pace. They don't have. It's still a decent amount of pace, but a lot acceleration too. It's decent. It's decent. I think compared to like the first season I bought them, they've developed 2 or 3.
So I'm just looking at that now, actually.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
It's also more obvious, like the effects, if you have a player with higher potential abilities. Since I think these players don't really have that high PA compared to their current abilities, so I think I already maxed them out as much as I could.
Yeah.
So.
Sure. No. So it might work better in other leagues, but it's still something that might make a difference.
Yeah. I had an example. So I signed this in my Luton Town save. This kid called Zambrano, an Ecuadorian midfielder. He was like 19, and I think over the courses of like 3-4 seasons, his pace, like an acceleration, developed by like 5 or something.
Oh, okay. So,
Yeah, so
it
it's
does seem to work. I mean, I've just looked through a couple, and you can certainly see it made a difference. Probably only 1 or 2, but at this level, that makes a difference.
Yeah. And then I also have another one that focuses a lot on set pieces, because sometimes they're really automatic with the set pieces if they're really familiar.
Is that the low intensity one?
Low, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so it's a bit one-on-ones, set pieces. Yeah, so it's kind of the same, but with a few extra, right?
I added the routines and then and stuff for the keepers development because I think another saves too. I just added a bunch of one-on-ones.
Presumably the one-on-ones thing that would, I assume, would develop your strikers finishing as well, though, because they've got to actually do the one-on-one. So I would have thought that would make as much difference to them.
I haven't really noticed the strikers, but I think I just threw it in so the keepers could do something. Honestly.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah. And then
it's certainly interesting. I think with the speed that we're all having to play with this, I don't think many of us have properly thought about training, but actually it's something that could make a massive difference. And presumably, because you only had to set it up once, and now you use it in every save, it doesn't even take you that long.
No, yeah. Also for the training, I set it up because I think it was Ender who had a lot of injuries. I also felt, even with this low regimen, I still got a bit of injuries, but
it cut it down a bit. Yeah. Yeah. Well, you would think it certainly should. You shouldn't be getting many injuries in training this way. Exactly.
So they can't get injured if they're not playing.
Quite. Yeah.
Unless they get sick, but there's basically no injuries.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you get some in games, presumably. I mean, I would have thought, and this is just sort of intuitively, I would have thought that if you're doing less training, it might mean that you're more at risk of getting injured in the game.
At a certain point where you have a lot of fixtures in like a month, I don't think.
Then it doesn't matter. Yeah. Fair enough.
So in the Sunderland season, I'm not going to give away what I.
Yeah, about to say, don't give anything away in terms of results. We've got deadline coming up in a few hours' time.
Yeah. So basically, I used the low intensity instead. So I think I'm going to go back to the extra low intensity, but basically, in a game in one half, 4 of my players got injured in one half.
Yeah.
So my striker got injured, like. I had to use up all my stoppages in one half with due to injuries. I was just losing my mind because every 2 seconds one guy was getting injured. Like,
yeah, that must have been really frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
Well, as I say, it's once again you've done really well here because you've won almost everything you could have won. So it's not really any surprise that you've managed to win. I'm just looking at some of the data hub now, and you can already see, like, just on the very first screen, there's a massive gap between your call-out and the others. So you're obviously quite a bit better than everyone else.
There were only maybe 2 difficult fixtures in this league. Even then, even if you lose against the harder fixtures in this league, you're still gonna blow everybody else away.
Yeah.
So in the league, in the first few game weeks, it was relatively close with Seoul, but then once the easy fixtures hit, I can just pull through with massive results and then just building momentum. So I think, so when I was doing the simming earlier to get to, so I could load new leagues. It turns out when I went on holiday, my team went undefeated. This was for the next season, not this one, but apparently when I was simming. So I don't think I think for the Korean League, I think you just gotta focus on winning the Asian Champions League for the points.
I think certainly if you're in Super League, if this had been in Division 4, it'd be different. But in Super League, I would have thought so. So what were the challenges in the Champions League then? Because I think you won it. Did you win it 3 times or twice?
No, twice. Because I only got to compete in it.
Yeah, that's right. So you've won it every time you've been in it.
Yeah. The only challenge was the final against the Saudi team. That's if I'm being honest, that's basically it.
Yeah. So is it essentially it's just a case of the Saudis are the only difficult teams?
Exactly. Yeah, because in the groups you can beat a team with your B team 10-0. It's not that bad. And then you face
what about the Japanese teams?
They weren't that. I think one year I played Vissel Kobe.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot which round it was. Or
I always get confused.
Yeah.
But is that not the
2026?
Is Vissel Kobe not the Dutch team? So
no.
There's someone with a similar name. Maybe I'm getting confused. I can't remember. That's the one. I always get those two confused.
Yeah, so the Japanese teams aren't that hard either. It was just I faced in the 2026 season 2 Japanese teams and a Korean team, and then the closest tie was against the Korean team.
Yeah, you can see the Vissel Kobe one here. You won 5-0 in the first leg, and it's game over after that.
Exactly. I don't know if it had to do anything with my squad or anything, because I don't think I had anybody like that's like special. It felt kind of easy. And then
but if Maritu is one of your best players, as you say, he's not that special. He's good, but he doesn't look. You don't think you look at him and think, "Wow."
You wouldn't sign him if you're in a like. You wouldn't sign him, but he plays. He just scored a lot of goals.
Yeah.
And at one point, one of my DMs was going for like almost 10 million.
Wow.
It was Kim Jae Hong. I signed him. I was just looking for younger players, seeing if there's anything special, and then I signed for 1.7 million, and then work or 1. It was 2025 when I signed him.
Are you talking about Kim Jae Hung?
Yeah.
You sure? No, he's a DM.
He's versatile. He can also play right wing back, I think, too.
This guy?
Yeah. No. The Kim Jae Hong. Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
Right wing back. Yeah.
I think you may be a bit behind me.
Oh yeah, maybe yeah. Yeah, he was really good. I honestly I don't know. There's really nothing to say about the South Korean league. I think it's
just a bit too easy. Well, it kind of, in some ways, it doesn't matter. This is why I think this is quite a good format, because if you've got a league that's easy, well, then you just need to win every league, and like as you've proven, like
exactly.
you've won everything, and that meant that you won. If you hadn't won everything, you wouldn't have won. Because presumably, I think I don't know this for sure, but I'm assuming almost everyone won the league every year.
I think so.
Yeah.
Because I think everybody had a really high score. I just need to know how they got the board to like them more than me, but
well, as I say, it'll matter a bit less in future. I thought, looking at this, I can't understand why you've only got a B. You've got pleased in all of your targets. It's really odd.
I don't understand. I think the Sunderland one will be way harder than this, just because of like the league and everything.
Yeah, I think Premier League is always going to be the hardest in terms of just like if you've got the same sort of quality of team relative to the league, then Premier League is always going to be harder than any other league, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I'm excited for this upcoming season, because I think I'll have a chance to get a lot of points here.
Yeah.
If I do well in certain competitions, but
of course. Well, yeah.
I think I'm just afraid of like the injuries again, because last season there weren't many like fixtures, if like compared to like the amount I might get in the future, and I was already facing with like injury crises.
Yeah.
So it's going to be hard managing the injuries, I think.
Absolutely.
That's the only
Absolutely.
issue.
Well, we'll see how you've done in that first season in a few hours' time. I think we're going to call it a night there. Those of you who are watching live, I don't know if there are many of you, we've got 4 hours till deadline, so can you get your things in? Have you? And you don't need to tell me anything about the save, but have you got your points in yet?
Yeah.
You have.
Yeah.
Super.
I submitted.
Me too. Cool. Well, I will. Well, you'll see me later on, and we will see where we are in the league. I imagine you'll be ahead of me, but we will see by how much.
I usually have a slow start, so you might be ahead.
Well, I hope I can say that by the end I've had a slow start. I've got a horrible feeling it'll get worse from here, but we'll see. Cool.
Yeah, usually it takes me a few seasons to get settled in.
Well, I will speak to you later anyway, and we will see if you can continue that run. Right. Let's the rest of the Super League. Can we all try and make sure this is not 3 in a row, because it's going to get boring. Vitasoy's a lovely guy, but let's have someone else next time, eh?
I'll see what I can do.
No, don't. You need to need to do your best. You need to do your best.
Okay,
I think actually the last question I have for you. I think you mentioned that you were thinking about maybe kind of giving it a miss for a season at some point if you keep winning. If you go 3 in a row, you're gonna give us a break.
I think this season I feel like no matter what, if I get the 3 in a row, if I don't get the 3 in a row, I think I'm gonna take a break for a bit.
If it's only a season or two, that's an additional 2. That's fine. But we hope to see you back soon afterwards.
I'm not gonna disappear for it. I'm just
Good.
I like to watch or like be behind the scenes. I want to see what happens.
Completely. I mean, you clearly enjoy it, which is great. But do make sure you're back at some point. If you want to be an admin, we'll always you're welcome to have a go at that, because we're going to need more and more, because it is growing, and it's getting more and more complicated.
Yeah. Whatever happens this season happens.
Well, good luck, and we will see how you're doing in more or less exactly 4 hours. I'll see you later.
Yeah. All right. See you later.
Bye.